One branch down, two to go. Last week we covered the legislative branch, and check out that video in the top right corner. And branching off from that, the executive branch. The executive branch is housed in the White House, but as in the name, this branch could be considered the executive of the country. This is due to the fact that people involved in the executive branch are the president, vice president, and cabinet members. The head of the executive branch is the president of the United States, who currently is Joe Biden. The president is able to veto bills, which means that even if the bill passed both the House and Senate, with a majority of the 535 members approving it, one person, the president, could still veto the bill ending it. And unless proposed again in the House, which is unlikely, the bill would be destroyed and have no effect. The presidency was first created after the end of the Revolutionary War because George Washington, the first president, thought that the name was very modest. He didn't want it to sound as pristine as king or queen, and he also didn't want another monarchy to come to America. The president is able to serve 2 4-year terms, after which he cannot run for re-election. Below the president is the vice president. Currently, Kamala Harris has that position. If the president was not able to serve, they would take over the tasks and become president. And as said in the previous video, they oversee the Senate and are considered the president of the Senate. The vice president also splits ties in the Senate when the votes are split 50-50. Other than that, though, the Constitution doesn't state a lot of what the president does. Oftentimes, though, the vice president isn't in the Senate because they are attending to other things that the president has requested they do. This could involve going to some place to talk to people, working on policies, or many other things. This was seen recently when President Biden placed Kamala Harris on the task of working on immigration and advising the president on what needs to be done. Unlike the president, the vice president doesn't have any term limits and can serve under multiple presidents. Finally, in the executive branch, we have the cabinet. They consist of the vice president, heads of the executive departments, and other high-ranking government officials. Their jobs are to advise the president on what to do, though this was not included in the Constitution. The cabinet was created because George Washington wanted to add more credibility and balance into the institution. The third branch of government is the judicial branch. This is the most trusted branch of government with an approval rate of 60% in 2017, having a much larger approval rate compared to Congress having only a 40% approval rate. The Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, is part of the judicial branch. They are in charge of making sure that laws and bills are constitutional. Though it might sound like it, the Supreme Court doesn't rule on cases of people who have just been arrested for a crime. They rule on cases that have been appealed by the defendants or prosecutors who say that the previous ruling was unconstitutional. There are 9 justices on the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice is John Roberts. They are nominated by the President and then sent to the Senate for confirmation. When they are nominated, they have to get approval by the Judiciary Committee. If they get approved there, they get sent to the full Senate to be approved. In the Senate, they need a simple majority of 51 to 49 in order for them to become justices. The judicial branch is supposed to be nonpartisan, but in more recent times, the nomination and approval process has become more and more political. This was shown in recent times when in 2020, former President Donald J. Trump nominated Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court. Her approval vote was one of the most political yet, with no Democrats voting to approve her. Overall, these branches are all used so that no one person can ever overdo their power. The checks and balances are all there so no one person could ever hold too much power and become a monarchy, as George Washington and America had once fought against.